T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone! Interrupting my regularly scheduled video, it was going to be another Marvel Legends. I bring to you Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Netflix, aka Earthrise Soundwave, with an updated Laserbeak and Ravage. This is the stuff on the back. And as you can see in this footage, I have to buy my toys from the store just like you normies. Because there's always an uninformed person in the audience. These are Walmart exclusives, and that store was Walmart. Fun fact, there's none of those annoying ties they like to put on there. You can just pop the shit out. Isn't that awesome? Here he is out of the packaging. And to be honest with you, the main thing I was excited about was to get this Ravage right here, because he looks like a tape right there more than any of the other cassettes. And I knew he would look nice inside of Soundwave. Also, you get Laserbeak and instructions. There were no like piece of the arc diagram like the or diorama piece like the other figures from previously. As far as his look, the main thing I don't like is the butt flap back here. And they did make the chest wider, I believe. I can't currently locate my sound wave from Siege, but here's my sound blaster. And as you can see, like in the mid section, it's like just pretty straight right there. And right here, it's not that wide, but on this guy, it's slender right here, but it's definitely out further than this guy's arms are. But while I have him here, things that are the same, the feet are exactly the same mold. These panels right here on the crotch, the side right here are the same. On here is more smooth. They try to take away details with these Earthrise figures to make them more cartoon accurate. The shoulders are different, but everything else on the arm is the same, everything. The back is completely different. And you already saw that the butt flap was different. And the lower leg right here, this part is different. Just pretty much everything that I didn't point out and say was the same is different. The faces are different. Like they tried to make this one more cartoon accurate, while this one has more sculpted detail and whatnot. The guns, the weapons, completely the same, both of them. Only thing different is this thing right here is supposed to be able, let me show you on Sound Blaster because it actually works on Sound Blaster. If you take the three weapons, you can open this up, plug this into here, and plug this into here, and give him a longer rifle or whatever you want to call this. But this was actually in the instructions, not in his instructions. And here's the problem, or here's probably why. They molded in two little things inside of there, and this isn't, I guess, tight anymore, so that just loosely fits right there and it doesn't stay at all. So it's like they took that functionality away from there. And if you're like my buddy Sony from TM Reviews, he's like, he has no idea what this is for. Of course, it's a gun. And the other thing people were using it for, which I think it was meant for, is you put it on Megatron, and now he has that little cannon over top of his back like he had in the cartoon. So that's the only thing that I can see that this thing was designed for. But they stuck it in with Soundwave because Megatron is too big. This gun does lift up like that a little bit. Now that we've seen him, let's show you the articulation. The head is on the ball joint. Arm goes out to here, swivels this way, swivels at the bicep, double jointed elbows, wrist goes in like that. He is capable still, even though the shoulders are wider. He still can push his own button right there. This time the tape deck doesn't go all the way down regardless of his mood. Waist swivel. Legs go to the side and up. Kick forward. Kick back. Bend right there. Swivel above the knee. And he has ankle pivot. Let's get the Laserbeak since he's here. It looks like this. A lot of colorful detail right there. Really cool. And just looks like this on the bottom. Here he is compared to Siege Laserbeak. A lot more prettier, eye-catching detail. Transformation. Pull the legs like this. Lift this up like that, which will raise the head up. You can pull the head. Come on, you. Pull the head out. Bruh. I got it started, but I can't grab it that easily. Sheesh. Now we can lift this up on the back and bring the wings out. And yay. Only thing really different besides the colorization of this detail right there. Let me see. Yes, all the exact same detail is just painted different. He actually has a bird head because he is now an Earth guy. And they did put a tiny Decepticon insignia right there. Meanwhile, Siege had the head he had in the pilot episode of the Transformers where it was sort of shaped like a bird, but not quite. Oh, there you go with that. Soundwave does have a few grooves on the arm that can loosely hold Laserbeak or any other figure with this same body. They never gave us Buzzsaw. I say loosely, it's supposed to be like that, but you can just sit it there. It's not connected at all. Now, Ravage. Looks like this has this tape detail right there. Even says made in Japan, just like the G1 cassette. Looks like that on the back. You can lift these arms out the way, or legs. Get these out this way. Kind of bend it down and rotate. Now we can grab here, pull the head out, or maybe don't pull these legs out, but lift this all the way up till it clicks. Rotate this forward and bring the legs down now. Rotate it, and now bring the legs down, and bend these like this. And now, here is Ravage. He is way more bulky than he's supposed to be. Looks like one of them poodles with the fur all on the legs. Even though Ravage is supposed to be a jaguar. Here he is, Ravage and Siege Ravage. He didn't have cassette detail and cassette mode. And I see that this one has silver eyes versus red eyes right there. And the mouth is shut versus being open. So they did resculpt the mouth. And because I didn't show this off, here is Siege versus Earthrise. Comparison right there. Yeah, there you are with that. Here he is next to Earthrise Optimus Prime and Siege Megatron. And yeah, there you go. Run about and run amok. And here's this right here. Okay, now transformation. Take this out the hand, shove that up in there, pop that off. Open this door, put that in there, shut that. Rotate the hands up into the cavities. And we can rotate this around right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and lift this up and bring this out right there. Go ahead and open that up. Bring this this way, and while you're doing that, rotate this so that it's in this orientation right there. So basically, rotate this into this, into this orientation. Plug it in up here, and then plug this together right there. Okay, and now we can take the foot, grab this panel right there, lift this up, make sure the feet are straight and not ankle pivot engaged, shove that into there, and there's a peg right here that goes into the foot, shove that all the way in, and then close that. If you don't, this will not lock right. Open this up, open that up, shove the foot up in there, shove that peg into the foot, and shut that. Now we can turn the legs this way, lift it up this way, and push this into there. I'm going to mention a couple things now. This is painted. That shoves into there because this acts like a peg. You're going to have to worry about that. Okay. Now we can bring this down on top of the two pegs that are right here. Shove that on there. Take the guns, plug them on either side. It doesn't matter, just have the pointy part upward. And his little gun, where the heck is it? The gun is still in Megatron's back. They want you to put it like this. So it looks like that. It looks like a rocket-powered cassette deck. But anywho, here he is in his cassette player mode. And yeah, it is reminiscent of G1. But it looks a mess on the back and things I don't like. I wish they retooled it in such a way where this was like the original toy, where it could have went inward that way instead of molding the back of the legs to peg in. So now you just have all this hanging out on the side. They could have molded in the fake control dials on the back of the leg like they did on the original. This right here, I don't like the way that sits out. I wish they came up with a way to make this a little bit more, well, make it more flush with the whole front of it, because the front is supposed to be flat besides the cassette deck. But you still have like a little hole where you can pretend that's headphone jack. It's not deep enough for you to actually put headphones in. And I don't know, if you can push this up, maybe you can pretend that's an antenna or something. Whatever you want. But here's something else you could do. You could fold these in. And honestly, just leave it like that. I mean, I don't know if that's any better, but it doesn't have the wide things on the side. But there you are. I did not show Laserbeak inside, so here we are with this right there. Doesn't look like a cassette. Here it is versus G1 Soundwave. You can, I believe, no, I might be lying, but you might be able to still put a headphone jack in there. I don't have one near me, I would try. But yeah, you can see they try to replicate the details there. Here's what this looks like from the side. Here's what this looks like from the back. It has a real working belt clip on the original. And you know what? I don't think I paid attention to. In here, the licensing detail or the patent detail, it says this was created in 1974. Then it was re-released in 1983. That's crazy. I think Megatron is the same way. So these things are way older than you ever knew. I'm going to mention some things that I did have a problem with, like these things on the back of his arm. I feel like they had no purpose, but they do cover up this detail right there. So there is that. All right. Now I know Hasbro has to use these molds over and over again as much as possible. But, yeah, I wish they I wish they made a whole new mold, because Soundwave is such a simple transformer. They could have easily made him transform into a more cohesive cassette player that actually still looked like G1, because look at this. All they have to do is like take this friggin' design and give it more articulation, to be honest with you. Which they kind of did, but this thing is designed to transform into that weird space thing that he transformed. You can look at my chill review for Siege Soundwave if you want to see that. But other than that, let's see. Kind of wish he didn't have these things in the back of his arm, but it does cover that. Or cover. This still functions as like a gun if you want. I didn't mention that. You still have the hollowness right here. But the chest is a little bit too wide looking, a little tiny bit. But other than that, it's still a good figure. All the joints are nice and tight. I didn't mention any of that, except these flaps right here. They stay in place, but they move a little bit more free than the Siege versions did. I don't like the butt flap, but I mentioned all that. Other than that, this is great. It's also great that they give you him, all of his necessary weapons, and they give you 2 of his cassette guys, all in one package. For cheaper than they were originally selling the re-release for this guy that only came with Laserbeak. And this is a vintage figure. This isn't that re-release. But yeah, for the value, this is a good set, and I'm not angry with it. It does look more like the Earth version of Soundwave, which people really wanted anyway, and it transforms into the Earth device that people wanted anyway. So yeah, and it comes with all the stuff like I mentioned, so it's good, and I can recommend it. Thank you for watching. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. Click the videos, click the videos, baby, click the videos. You should really click these videos, click the videos, click those videos, baby, click the videos. You really should click those videos, click that shit.